Aiden, tell me a story.
Alrighty guys, and welcome to another podcast. So this week we're going to be talking to my cousin, Jenna Bowman. I haven't been able to catch up with Jenna in so many years, and this is a lot of yapping. So be prepared. I am so grateful I got this opportunity. We talk about everything from our childhood playing in the mud to Mom Peggy to getting into a fight at church camp. Oh, and let me not forget our choreographed Cheetah Girls and High School Musical moments. Yes, I had such a blast, and I hope you do too watching this. This is just a raw, unfiltered, real conversation with my cousin that we have needed for many, many years. And so I am so grateful that I got this opportunity, and I really hope y'all enjoy this. Let me know. How's your relationship with your cousin? Because mine just got better. Welcome my very first guest, Jenna Bowman. This is exciting, Jenna. I've never, ever interviewed anybody for a podcast before.
Wow.
Or for anything.
What an honor.
You're being fake.
I am being fake, sorry.
Okay, we're here in Jenna's home studio. She is a photographer, a professional photographer. She's been doing really good. It's been like, what, a year now?
It's
a year
been
and a half?
A year and a half. I started in October of 2023. Mm-hmm. And so whatever the math is, ends up with that. So this October will be 2 years.
That's crazy.
So yeah, but I've been doing photography for about 5 altogether. I've just been professionally, actually with a business, doing it for about a year and a half.
That's awesome.
I know.
We just got finished taking pictures because you know me, I like pictures of myself.
That is true.
And Jenna's really good at it too, which is a plus.
Yeah, and it also works out that we have a lot of history together doing creative stuff.
Which leads us to today's topic, this conversation in general. Jenna and I haven't really had the chance to connect in many years. Mm-hmm. We're cousins. We've known each other since...
I don't remember a start.
Yeah, I don't
remember. We've always
a
known
start.
Probably of each other, but for a good chunk of our childhood, we were like connected at the hip. Probably.
Yeah, truly. I told Robin this last night, and I texted you this too. I just feel, or no, we were talking about it last night. I feel like our childhood was like a movie childhood. Mm-hmm. It was like people don't get that kind of childhood often.
Especially now with how much screen time
Oh
everybody has. Like as a parent of 2 kids, like it's so easy to give your phone your phone to your kid or a tablet to your kid. But the thing is you also have to like navigate like how much technology is too much. Like what are they allowed to watch? What that kind of like just all that kind of things. Our parents didn't worry about that when we were younger, which was also a double-edged sword there too.
Yeah, definitely.
And unfiltered access to the internet is not good either.
It is not. But I feel like also when oh my God, we sound so old. When we got the internet.
It was the 90s into the early 2000s.
Yeah, everybody knows the 90s didn't end until 2002. Mm-hmm. Piggybacking off of that internet thing, our parents didn't even know what the internet was. It was new to all of us.
Yep. So our generation got to go from no internet, dial up, to actually having little laptops, being able to use it on a device.
We got we lived through that all. Oh my God, we're old.
At the time where we actually lived 2 blocks, no, like a block away.
A block away.
So we grew up in Kingsbury, Texas, which is one of the smallest towns in Central Texas, in my opinion, because like you could just drive through it and just blink. It's not even
literally
there
you blink and it's gone.
Do you know Kingsbury was actually created and like founded because it was on the railroad tracks?
Really?
Yeah, that's why the main street right there
is railroad themed.
It's Railroad Street.
Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did not know that. Did you know that Kingsbury just became a city in 2015?
Yes, I actually
did. That's crazy. That's crazy.
They have a mayor. They do meetings. The whole shebang. I know. Isn't that crazy?
I tell people in New York, and they're like,
Little old Kingsbury?
Like the fact that it became a city in 2015.
Well, I think a big thing is this whole area of Texas is growing so much right now. And they needed to put their foot down and create Kingsbury as a city so that it can actually go forward and thrive and not just be incorporated into Seguin.
Yeah.
Because it's booming here.
It is booming. So how are we related?
We're not
But
at
we
all.
are.
But we are related because, so my stepdad, who is actually my real dad, but he's technically my stepdad, but all that aside, that's for later on in the
like
podcast.
Mom Peggy's my mom.
Yes, exactly.
Even though
my dad's mother was your grandma Peggy's mom's sister.
If you're following along.
So we both got to have that same childhood in Kingsbury from that portion of our family.
Yes.
Because that's what we were raised by.
Very country, very southern, very conservative, very Republican, very all of it.
Very uneducated, a lot of generational trauma
Very
that rolled
poor.
into us. A lot of poverty. That whole area of Texas is...
Poverty sounds better than poor.
Not area of Texas, but the Kingsbury itself has a lot of families that have been there for a long time, and our family has been there for a while. Both sides of my family have been there for a long time, and like you can trace the family all the way back to like the churches kind of thing.
So on the topic of being poor, Jenna brought up a valid point to me the other day that she remembered so vividly from, or not remembered, but heard stories of, which I have too from Mom Peggy.
I know what you're going to talk about.
When Grandma used to cook.
She would just put anything in a pot and make it a stew.
Yes, but like the boys, so Mom Peggy grew up with so many boys in the house, they would just be country boys, mind you. They would just kill rodents and things. So like armadillos, possums, those kind of things. Deer, rabbit, squirrel. And Grandma would just cook it all.
As she should. I remember one time we were outside and my dad had a gun and there was like, I guess there were pigeons or doves. I don't know. I think there were pigeons and they were like
have pigeons in Kingsbury.
Yes, my dad used to have a pigeon coop. And like he used to like have them.
Kingsbury?
Yes, they used to. They were gorgeous.
That's crazy.
Like I loved it. It was a pigeon coop in our yard. It was crazy. Anyway, so one was on the telephone wire, and we kept telling my dad, we were like, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. And my mom comes out of the trailer, and she's telling us, and she's like, well, if your dad kills that, we're gonna have to eat it in some chicken and dumplings. You guys are gonna be eating pigeon and dumplings. And I remember we started crying, and we were like, we do not want pigeon and dumplings. And you know, looking back on it, like that is hilarious for my parents to say because I don't think we ever started just saying, go for it, Dad.
Yeah.
But I mean, deer, like everyone down here, we always had like deer chili.
I never ate deer.
Jerky. You never had jerky?
I've never had deer a day in my life. I've had emu.
I've never had emu.
Crazy. Mom Peggy tricked us into eating emu when I was a kid.
Yeah. That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't know. That would have thrown me for a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
well, I didn't know till afterwards.
So, do you remember Aunt Mary's like family? It was her. How many kids did she have?
Kevin, James, Steve, Robert, Mom Peggy, and Karen.
There's 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kevin, Robert, James, Steve, Karen, Mom Peggy.
Yeah. That was
6.
Wow. And that's crazy. Did they always live out there?
Yeah. It's Brown Hill. It's named after them.
Yeah, that is true.
It's very old.
Yep, that is true. I forgot about that.
They still have the house out there and everything.
Yeah.
Uncle Robert owns or has the grandma's property now.
Man, I remember going out there, and so our other cousin Savannah lived at the top of the hill, and I would always be over at Savannah's house, who was also included during in our little like concerts that we always do all the time, karaoke contests and everything. But I remember we'd go there and we'd like walk down, and on this little hill going down, there was always these rocks stuck in there, and you could find geodes. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. That's
you didn't know that?
No,
yeah, we would find geodes and we'd crack them open and they'd actually be geodes.
Wow, Texas.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of childhood memories out there, and in Kingsbury. Kingsbury will always hold such a sweet place in my heart just because of it. We both grew up. So imagine it was 4 squares. Literally. I lived on this square. Aiden lived on this square, and we would just constantly go up and down, back and forth to each other's houses.
We rode our bikes to each other. We walked down the streets to each other. At one point, we had walkie-talkies, so we could just like...
We would talk like, hey, what are you doing right now? Do you want to come and perform Cheetah Girls with me?
Yeah.
You've been practicing all week, remember? We need to perform today.
I literally printed out at one point in time. I still have these somewhere in storage. I literally printed out every single song that was popular in that time so that we could have the
Notebook.
physical copy.
Yeah, in a binder. And in the binder, it was full of like pictures too. Like back in the day, back in our era, we would have the front of the binders and we would print out on our parents' printers in very crappy ink, little pixelated, Troy Bolton and Hannah Montana and Justin Bieber, the Jonas Brothers.
Yes. I remember that period. I had a lot of the M magazines.
Oh, yeah.
You remember those? There's a teen magazine, little teeny bopper magazine back in the day.
Oh, I couldn't even remember the names. It was like, I couldn't remember them.
Yeah, I just remember M magazine because that was my favorite.
They would come in the magazines because you would pull out the posters, like right in the middle, and you'd unfold them and tape them to your wall.
Yep.
I think every generation has a version of that, but like the current generation of teenagers and teeny boppers right now,
not as cool as our generation.
So much better
literally grew up
quality.
in the 2000s, the early 2000s.
Yes.
Crazy. Other things we did growing up was like we would play we literally had a big ditch, right? And
all the way around the 4 corner blocks. It was just how the city was, or the little town square was set up of our houses.
Yeah, weird. It was a town. Jenna told me that she used to go tubing in the.
Oh yeah, so it would rain, and these little these little bar ditches, like right next to the road, would just fill up. This was a different time back then. Just keep that in mind. But when it would rain, all the flood water would go there. It's so nasty. So every time it would rain, the ditches around our houses would fill up with water. And so being little country kids out in the middle of nowhere, we would just blow up our tubes because it's Texas. We do tubing. It's just in your nature. And we would just sit in, as long as there's no lightning, thunder was okay. But as long as there's no lightning.
And even so.
As long as our parents didn't say no, which they usually never did, we would just like float down the little river flood, little rapid thing that would just be like end up getting created. And we were talking about this earlier. We actually would go into like the little ponds that would form after it rains, like under the railroad tracks and stuff, and we would catch crawfish.
I remember that one ditch that's on the main railroad.
Yeah, on Rail Street.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, and we would go swimming in that big ditch. That's what I remember. That's crazy.
It's such like it seems like a completely different lifetime ago.
It was
like I could not
completely
imagine letting my
different
kids go out and do that right now. That seems so nasty to me. Like,
That
Mom,
does
what
seem
were you
kinda
thinking?
nasty.
That's nasty.
But it was cleaner back in the day.
Like, come on, Mom Peggy.
There was not that much pollution back then.
But I think that also ties into just like the whole atmosphere we had as a child, like in our childhood. We had technology, but it was so new. Like we had like the MP3 players.
We had CD players.
Yeah,
that's what we grew up
boom
with.
boxes.
Yes.
It's like that's what I call music now and stuff like that.
The little V clip. I don't know.
Yeah, you would have like your Motorola flip phone, like playing your recording on the radio, your ringtones.
But I feel like that was even a little bit after like our childhood, almost like.
Well, I had my first one in 3rd grade.
No, I had my first phone in 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah, that's what another thing. Unfiltered access to the internet is not good for your kids, guys.
Yeah, when I had my flip phone, I remember if I accidentally clicked the web button, I'd have to exit out really fast because I did not have unfiltered access to the internet. But I did have it on my iPod.
I feel like that the internet and like that in people's, especially my childhood, could be a completely different episode on your podcast. So now,
do you have
especially as a
allergies?
parent, not really.
I found out recently that I'm not allergic to anything. Like, quite literally anything.
It's probably the magic in Kingsbury, Texas, is
I
water
think
wells.
it's, and because, honestly, but I also feel like it's because we had that country life where we played in the dirt and we played in the mud. And I had 18 outside cats, if you recall, because we fed all of them and they would all come
all
to
had
it.
names too.
They did. Toe biter, mama kitty, favorites. But I feel like that really built up your immune system and stuff as kids.
It definitely helped.
It definitely helped because I'm quite literally not allergic to anything. Cockroaches, dander, cats, dogs, nothing. Except triple sec. I found out I am allergic to that.
Did you like a panel?
No, yeah, I got the panel, but that triple sec wasn't on there. I found that out through drinking margaritas.
Well, I just grew old, and I just found out I'm basically lactose intolerant.
Oh, you grew into lactose? I am
Yeah,
so sorry.
I have that fun genetic there.
Yeah, I can drink dairy. I don't drink milk though. I don't like it, but I do eat ice cream.
Love me some coconut milk though. That's nice.
Coconut milk. I'm more of an oat milk kind of guy.
Yeah, my favorite is like coconut milk, and then you put Ovaltine in it, and then you just like mix it up. And it's like a little. It's a weird. I don't know. My mom.
Grandma.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I love my old lady aesthetic. That is just such a.
It's a look.
Plants, antique thrifting. I love it. It's so me, and I'm okay with that. Like right now, I want to start thrifting old camera models.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm actually looking into learning more film-based photography.
That's awesome.
So hopefully this holds me to it. But
honestly, you're gonna have a dark room and everything.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna outsource for development.
Fair
probably.
enough.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Do a little branding shoot and just like a red room, just.
That would be really
hanging
cool.
them up.
Ruins all the pictures.
None of them came out at all. Like they all look bad.
My room.
Oh,
Jenna was telling me that.
I was so jealous of this kid's room. Like you guys have no idea. Like so, I grew up in a family. So my mom, like I have 4 other siblings. It was my mom, my dad, me. I was the oldest. I had 3 sisters, and then I had a little brother like down the line finally. But it was us 4 girls, and we all shared a room. So Aiden being down the road, he had his own room. And so I would go over there. I would get my mom to call Mom Peggy on the phone and ask if I can come over. Because sometimes I was not allowed to come over because we loved to fight.
We fought all
like, if you knew Jenna and Aiden, it was probably because we were fighting. And that was just our personality, which that's a whole, there's a lot of reasons for that. Yeah. But we were each other's, like, comfort zones, and we felt comfortable to butt heads. But we were also very creative.
We were.
And in charge of our own projects that we worked on together. And so we each had a vision, and it would come out.
Something would come out of it for sure.
Even if it was just us walking back home crying from each other's houses. But his room, it was just such a wonderfully put together aesthetic. It, from the orange rug to the orange feather boas to the canopy above his bed to the kitten posters on the walls, his own TV, the little, oh my gosh, we played school all the time because you had a little desk.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. I feel like there was a lot of creativity amongst the chaos. That's what I think it was.
But I think your grandma, Mom Peggy, did such a good job of letting you be creative and letting you be your authentic self.
That's because she was so creative herself. I feel like she really, Mom Peggy was such a kid person. Like, she loved kids. I don't know how else to explain it. She loved kids. She loved entertaining kids. I think that there was just a part of her that loved the innocence in kids because there wasn't all the muck of the world.
And also, look how many siblings she had. And look how many siblings, like, her parents had.
That's true.
And so on and so on. Like, we come from
big families.
Yeah, well, just that entire family itself in Kingsbury, no one knew what birth control was. Like, and if they did, they didn't use it. And so women at that time, especially in very uneducated parts, like Kingsbury itself, they would have a lot of kids. They would just, that was what they were supposed to do. That's just the role of the woman. Cooking, cleaning, all that. And
all the basics, yeah.
Yeah, but Mom Peggy, like, she got this little wonderful child, and she just filled you with so much love.
Oh, yeah, that was one of my questions that I had for you, Jenna. What did you know about my reality and my life? Like how, because now and the whole world knows, my mom was a drug addict, my dad was in prison, grandpa was alcoholic and a little bit abusive, and Mom Peggy was an obese woman. Like, I tell those stories and I share them now, but did you know that as a kid? Like, were you aware of any of that? So
I think you were my cousin. Mm-hmm. Like, you were family. Like, there wasn't any, you were just you. And I think for me, I genuinely thought Mom Peggy was your real grandma. And I thought that your mom was just not there. I didn't even know who Shauna was for a long time.
That's crazy.
I just knew of her.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't ever really meet her. It was your grandpa and Mom Peggy, and then like birthday parties, it would just be like
she would pop in.
Yeah, just like Just every now and then.
Oh yeah, wait, you had that one memory, didn't you?
Well, I remember like one time, like at a birthday party at like Starkey Park, your mom showed up and Mom Peggy just did not want her there, and we were just like, is that his mom?
Yeah, I'm definitely assuming that that's during one of Mom's crack phases.
Yeah.
And that I found one of Mom Peggy's diaries that documented a lot of Shauna and that whole time period, which was really, really cool. Yeah, so if y'all want to see that, let me know. But that was that time period for her, for them, for me. It was crazy.
For you to have something written though in her voice, you know, that's probably really.
Yeah, it was. I found it after she passed too, which was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was crazy.
Yeah.
That is actually really crazy.
It is.
You should literally show me that. I would be very interested in seeing what she said about that.
I definitely will.
So what is something you remember? Like from just growing up in Kingsbury, what is one of your favorite memories of like going to Aunt Mary's house or Grandma Mary's house?
Yeah. It's weird when she calls her Aunt Mary because that's for me it's like always been grandma. I don't know. It's just different hearing it from coming out of your mouth.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know, favorite memories. There's a lot of really good memories. One of my favorite memories is going to Rebecca Ramos's and Charlene, Rebecca's mom. They had this little grocery store like that they built, and it was just so cool because whenever we want a snack, we would just go, Miss Ramos, hey Charlene, can we have a snack?
Yeah, our parents just send us down with a couple of dollars each, and we just get pickles, sodas, just any candy bars.
I have a vivid memory of being in your house and us getting pickles out of the jar. And
it wasn't me. I hate pickles, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I cannot stand pickles. I hate the smell. But
how come I remember them?
Probably because I was getting it for you.
Maybe because I wanted one, I'm sure. But I remember your mom getting me a pickle out of a jar. I have a vivid memory of it.
That's so sweet, though.
It's crazy.
It's like an entire different lifetime.
Yeah.
Just thinking back to being that young and that
was
innocent.
Almost 30 years ago. Almost 30 years ago. That's crazy.
It was not almost 30. It's like 20 years ago.
23 years ago. Yeah.
We're not talking about that. I'm not that old at all.
Grandma.
He's older than me.
She has 2 kids. I have none. She's old.
I started young, okay? And that was another thing too, is like growing up, there was always like, we always fought. Like it was always a competition between us of who was the loudest, the better singer.
Or who was right.
It was still like that a little bit. Like when we were doing pictures earlier, and we're just like, we're going to do it this way. And they're like, we're going to do it this way. And I was like, well, I got the camera. And he's like, well, I'm posing. So.
Hey, it works.
I can't wait for you guys to see it. Hopefully.
I know, honestly, I'm so excited for these photos. I have so many things going on.
You're doing so good, though. Like, we literally went from you directing, choreographing, us learning the complete just danceography to High School Musical and all the songs and performances to the Cheetah Girls by force because of him.
Yes, I love
to
the Cheetah
you
Girls.
just pursuing your dream in the Big Apple.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't feel like that when you're living it actively.
I know, but I can guarantee to everybody in small town Texas here, you're doing amazing.
Well, thank you.
And everyone thinks that you're famous.
Nobody thinks I'm famous. But
You're more famous than Bob down the street, so.
Well, Bob's down the street, so.
You're working in a movie?
Yes, I am. I haven't really talked about that on social media yet. I'm doing this movie called Silent Park. I've been a part of it for a couple years now. It's been slowly in the process. That's been fun to get to go to experience. I was flown out to Chicago twice in 2020. That was a very unique experience. That's what I will say. But
they had great pizza, you said.
They had such good pizza. No offense, New York and New Yorkers, but Chicago's deep dish pizza, the flavor, immaculate, Jenna.
Just paradise on the lips.
Yes, no, truly though.
I wouldn't know. I've literally never been out of Texas except to Louisiana one time.
Really?
Yes.
Really, Jenna?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
It is on my bucket list. I'm coming to New York eventually.
That's crazy, Jenna.
Yes.
And I thought I was crazy because the first time I was ever on a plane was 2015.
Mm-mm.
You haven't been on a plane, have you?
I've never been on a plane. That's a conversation another time. I'm terrified of heights. And
Really?
Yeah, I'm scared to get
Just
on a
take what
boat
do
or
they
get on
call
a
it?
plane.
Dramamine and call it a day. Yeah, no, I have taken so many flights now at this point in my life. It's routine. I never worry. I pack last minute because ADHD, but also I never worry about forgetting anything because it's so routine to me.
Yeah.
That I know that I always have everything I need.
You just know what you travel and pack in. But see, and that's the thing is like I never have a reason to travel. And like for me, everything was very right one after another for a long time. I never got to separate. I never had a chance to actually go and do stuff. And this is the first time in my life where I'm actually like taking control, like getting my identity back. Like having kids is hard.
Yeah, no,
like,
I could only imagine. You literally lose yourself.
You do. You have to re-find who you are after completely giving literally everything to create two humans.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but I'm actually at such a great spot now. I actually got on anxiety medication like this past year, yeah. And I know I always joke that I got on anxiety medication and started a business, so which that has been like an entirely amazing avenue that's taken me for like a while.
Yeah.
I've always, like, if you know me, I've always forced people to do little photo shoots and just I love being behind the camera, and I just being able to pursue that now has just been a dream of mine.
What made you? We can lean into this topic now, but what made you want to be a photographer?
It's making people feel confident when they see their photos.
Oh.
Because it was such a hard thing for me to see pictures of myself, and when people take pictures of myself, to feel comfortable with looking at myself in that photo, that I had to learn how to love myself. And that comes with this, like, knowing how to use a camera, knowing angles. And it was just addicting to do that for other people, to be behind the camera and to get photos that they love, that they use, that they look at and they feel comfortable with. And I think one of the most beautiful parts of photography itself is when you connect with your client and they start, very in a shell, very boxed in, don't know how to do anything. Like, I've never posed, I've never done photos before. And it's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, because not even like 5 minutes in, they start opening up. They start getting those real smiles. They get their personality out. I love when you see a picture that I've taken and you feel it.
Ooh,
Like,
that was good.
That is my goal. And when you get your photos back from me, I want you to look at your photos and feel how confident you are.
That's awesome, Jenna. That's awesome. So if anybody needs photos, Jenna is a photographer here in Seguin, Texas. She does travel.
Not out of state, but I will.
But she will.
I will.
She travels, period.
I will.
Period. She's a really great photographer, and her photos are high quality. Here's some examples that you can see. They are, exquisite, phenomenal, superb. What other big words?
These photos are actually from a wedding I just covered.
Yeah.
And
yes. These are gorgeous.
I know.
Photos.
I'm so proud of them, and my bride was absolutely stunning.
I literally just got chills.
It's so wonderful to see your work just take life after you've done it. And huge shout out to everyone who's supported me on this journey too, because I couldn't have done this at all without my family and my friends and my husband just encouraging me. I think one of my favorite things lately is my kids, like, they'll be out and about and they'll just be talking to people and they'll just be like, my mom's a photographer.
That's so cute.
Even knowing their daddy brings in way more money than me, but
not for long, Zach. You better watch out.
He wishes. He wishes. That's his dream.
Stay at home dad.
Oh, well.
I get it.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that'll be there anytime soon, but
you never know.
It's the goal. It's the goal.
So enough about them. Look at my pictures that Jenna took of me. You've seen them before. I'm sure you have.
Oh, Aiden's always a fun, creative spirit to take pictures of.
Jenna's really good at making you feel super comfortable and safe in front of the camera and in her presence.
Aww.
With these photographs. I feel like you do a really, really good job of ensuring that the person is happy in the moment and after.
Well, that's the awesome. Client experience is very important whenever you're looking at photography, because like your photos are going to be as good as your client feels, and even if they don't feel comfortable, you still get great shots.
That's true. That's true. She still gets great shots.
I think one of my favorite, like, well, not necessarily favorite, but a huge fun part of photography is like when you have kids and like they're just not. I mean, they're kids. They're just not going to work. Like if the kid comes and they're just not having it. The parents, they get very dejected and they're just like, oh, I don't know if we got any good photos. I'm so sorry they didn't go. And if they really didn't turn out, we'll always reschedule. We'll always an option. But it's such a great feeling when you look back at the gallery and you did get the smiles between tantrums. You did get the laughing. You did get the candids. Candids are my favorite part. Like, I love candids. And I think that is just such a fun part of it. Just
I love that.
Itself.
Well, I'm very proud of you, Jenna. I'm so excited to see what this future has in store for you, and this year too. 2025 is going to be one of your best years yet.
It's going to be your best year too.
I mean, I hope.
You have a birthday coming up.
I do.
You're traveling.
I am.
You're going to have more work come your way. You actually are getting a gig right now.
I have agents. I literally just got 3 agents, which is crazy to me because
3?
3. 2 in California, 1 in Austin.
Well, I got it. Well, oh wow, in Austin.
Because I mean, I'm here. Why not?
I mean, question: would you ever move back to Texas?
I'll move here when I'm old. I want to buy a house here at some point and retire here because that would be nice.
Yeah, wasn't your dream always to have 3 houses?
Yes, my
3.
dream. New York, California, Texas. 1 house, 2 apartments.
The house in Texas.
Yes, the house in Texas.
Because Texas is home, or is New York home?
They're both home. They're both home.
Different sides of the same coin?
Yeah. I love New York. I am so grateful I made that decision when I did because I feel so me when I'm there and I don't have to second guess myself. Like when I'm here, I don't know, like people stare at me everywhere I go. Yeah. Literally everywhere I go.
Oh, it's Texas. Oh my gosh. Like
no, New York too, Jenna. I feel like people just get so confused by my beauty, I guess, for lack of better words or how to phrase it. The long hair, It's your personality though. You just exude Aiden. It's true. But you've always done that. I don't hide who I am.
I've never always been yourself, and I think that's something I've always admired about you. Just got chills. Little shimmy, little shiver.
But I just feel like when I'm in New York, it's less of a judgmental stare and more of a intrigued stare. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, you can feel the difference, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love opening TikTok and seeing your taco videos. I'm not going to lie. I've literally watched you do a taco video and then told my husband, like, hey, let's go get some breakfast tacos.
How many people have told me that? Monica texted me today. I'll show you. Monica texted to me today saying, I just watched your video. Damn, I want a taco now.
No, there's something magical. There's something magical about tacos in this part of Texas. And I have a funny story actually.
Tell me.
So when me and my husband first moved in together, I moved up to Sweetwater, Texas with him. And
Where's Sweetwater?
It's the armpit of Texas. So like, you know how Texas has like the top, the arm like over here, it's the armpit. Oh. It's like by Midland and Odessa and Abilene. No. It's up north and west.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you later on maps.
You moved up there.
Yeah, anyways, I moved up to the armpit of Texas, and it's horrible. If you know that area of Texas, you ain't gonna judge me when I say that. Like, it's old Texas. Like, it's just not much there, except nothing.
Yeah.
And windmills. Really, the wind turbines, so cool. Yeah. And anyways, when I moved up there, my husband, he was like, yeah, we got tacos here because I really wanted a taco. So we go, and this boy takes me into a restaurant, and it's like It's like he said it's like those meat tacos, like Taco Bell tacos. I'm like, no, that's not what I was talking about. Like I wanted like a potato, egg, and cheese, like like in a foil, like warm, like not lettuce, tomato, meat.
Watch my Taco Talk videos, you'll know what I mean.
Like I wanted a genuine like breakfast taco. And he was like, what are you talking? You mean a burrito?
Oh my God, that's so New York.
North Texas calls them burritos. And I'm like, I don't know where you're from or like how this happened, but it is wrong.
Yeah.
Tacos, the ones we're talking about, are not burritos. Tacos are not burritos. Breakfast tacos are not burritos. If it's a burrito, the ends have to be folded in and it has to be rolled. And there can't be anything falling out.
Period.
But if it's folded in half, it's a taco.
But it's not even just that. It's the matter of the meat and everything has to be made properly and the tortilla has to be fresh.
It's the cheese. For me, it's the cheese.
Cheese.
The cheese makes, well, not necessarily a burrito or a taco, but the cheese on the taco makes the best taco. Because if you go to a restaurant, like sometimes you go and you order a taco and the cheese isn't even melted. And that ain't what you want.
No, I mean, Alex, to be fair, Alex's taco doesn't always have their cheese melted. But their cheese itself is the right kind of cheese for me.
And see, H-E-B actually sells restaurant cheese that's already grated in a bag like thing. Wonderful. Great. You can make it at home.
Where do you get your tacos from?
Chilaquiles. I don't know if I said that right, but it's actually right down the road from my house, and they do the potatoes perfectly. So my favorite taco is a potato, bacon, egg, and cheese.
Oh.
And I am a stickler on my potatoes. Like, they can't be crunchy. They can't be raw. They have to be soft, and they have to mix in with the eggs, and the cheese has to be good.
Have you tried Alex's tacos?
Yes, but I still prefer it, and the green sauce.
You don't like Alex's tacos?
I do like them. I just don't like them as much as
I don't know why I'm such an
Do you
Alex
remember
taco
Jackie's
stan.
tacos?
No. Who's Jackie?
It was a taco place back when we were kids.
I'm Quick Taco. That's what I grew up on. Quick Taco on 123?
No, Jackie's Tacos was a really good taco place too. We used to go.
Quick Taco, damn, they were good. And then Alex's, I had to transition to. They make their potatoes different from Quick Taco, but it was still a very similar vibe. I don't know. I just love tacos. Back to New York, like with the tacos, they call them burritos too.
Oh no, it's wrong.
I have had to come to a point where I call them breakfast tacos. Because here, they're just tacos.
Yeah.
I want a taco.
Yeah.
But there, I have to say breakfast taco for them to understand what I mean.
Yeah, that's insane. You shouldn't have to. I'm so sorry that you've had to deal with uneducated Northern Yankees.
Not
I'm just kidding.
But she's not wrong.
Don't come for me, please.
No tortillas up there are real. They're always fake.
Does it taste like Play-Doh?
Always store-bought.
Don't you hate that when you open a tortilla
smell
package? It's like Play-Doh.
You could smell the difference between a real tortilla and a fake tortilla.
Like even the consistency whenever you
Yes, you can feel it. Thankfully, I'm half Mexican, and Grandma Lupi taught me how to make homemade flour tortillas.
Lupi.
Yes, so I know how to do that.
That is.
And I know I can make some damn good carne asada too.
You should make me some sometime.
Well, that's a lot of work. I do it up
that's
there.
That's a no.
Yeah. I do that up there because I miss it so much, and nobody's gonna do it right. I did recently find one place right next to me, like literally.
At your new apartment?
Yeah, from here to like halfway to Potline, really. Not
Potline?
Potline.
Potline.
Potline. I've always said Potline.
You
always.
went there.
I know, and I've always said Potline.
Oh my gosh, remember Miss Brownie?
Yes, I still talk to her. We're friends on Facebook.
Oh,
Irene Brownie.
I didn't know.
And did you know it's Brawny? We've just always said Brownie.
We are so sorry. We have called you Mrs. Brownie.
She knows.
She was the sweetest lady.
She was. She always gave me. Well, she felt bad for me because we could talk about that.
Yeah. She
felt bad for me because I don't know if you remember, but I would throw up every single day because of the smell, the mixture from breakfast to lunch, that in between smell. The worst, Jenna. And she would walk me to the nurse's office with the trash can.
Aww.
Almost every single day. It's crazy.
No, I did not remember that. I don't remember.
Really?
No.
I threw up all the time.
See, I was in my own little world, though.
Do you not remember I had such a weak stomach?
Mm-mm.
Literally all the time.
How funny is it that like when I talk to like Mrs. Ruby and stuff like that, whenever they always like group us together in
Really?
conversation. They were like, yeah, you and Aiden, you guys always argued. Like, I'm pretty sure they never put us in the same class because they knew that, like, on purpose.
I'm sure Mom Peggy and
yeah, like they like we like
principals,
intervention. Like, do not put these two in the same class. It is not big enough for both of them.
we will fight to
Like,
the death.
well, not the death, but one of us. Well, neither of us will be right, and we.
But we will never be wrong.
Exactly, not to each other. We would never concede.
To adults, I'm sure we were like insane.
Oh my gosh, I cannot imagine how frustrating that probably was.
Imagine.
But why did no one? I don't feel like no one ever really like corrected us. They just let us fight.
Yeah.
I really don't remember
Because
like
we were cousins.
well, that's probably what they were like. They're like, oh, they're just cousins. Oh, they've been together too much.
Yeah.
Because on the flip side, like we would literally be like just performing.
That's true. That's
like
true.
straight up, and we would put on shows too. Remember, we would literally go
Yes.
into your kitchen area with
Yeah.
Mom Peggy, and she would like, you'd be like, are you ready to listen to us? Like, even your grandpa on his chair right there in front of the TV, his little rocking chair with the cat. And we would sit there and we would sing with little microphones. Remember the big ones that echoed?
Yes.
Yeah, because we needed the echo.
Because we weren't loud enough.
Oh, we were definitely loud enough. We were over loud enough. My kids are sleeping actually because my studio is like in my house, and we've had to like remind ourselves to just quiet.
That is
it
actually
down.
her reminding me right now.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So
gentle
you're a gentle
conversation.
parenter.
Oh no. I'm gentle, but I'm not a yes parent. Like, I feel like I'm really good at keeping boundaries with my kids, but also explaining like why they do something wrong and why there's a consequence to it.
Yeah.
And timeout.
What is it like being a parent?
Like, what part? There's a lot of it, like
Well,
in general. Like, having the kid, it's like literally like an alien's growing inside of you,
I think that's
and I straight up birthed 2 humans.
You grew a penis inside of you.
I did.
And a vagina.
I mean,
Inside of you.
I mean, technically,
That's crazy, right?
I had 2, like, there's already a vagina inside of me. Like,
Like, no, that's on the outside. No, it goes into the inside. That's
it's
true.
okay. It's not your forte.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, that's hilarious.
Being a parent is definitely one of the most rewarding things for me.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to be here, like, right before we hit our 30s and be able to step into this, next chapter of my life with 2 beautiful children, a wonderful husband, and like starting to flourish my own career.
That's awesome. Are you worried that the world's ending?
The thing is if it's going to, there's not much I'm going to do to prevent it.
That's true.
And one of the best ways for me to do better in the world is raise good humans. And so I always joke that my kids are either going to be like the Antichrist or like the next world leaders.
Antichrist.
Antichrist.
That's a great leeway to our next topic, church.
Church was I loved church.
I love church too for the sense of community, for the sense of we had so many outlets with church, with the fall festival, Halloween,
Performances. That's where Aiden actually started his acting career.
Well, don't act like I don't say that. I always
He was
say
a wise man.
I was a wise man. That was fun.
Still is.
No, but church was a really great creative outlet for us, I feel like, in so many senses of the way, because even Sunday school, we always had so many crafts and fun little things. I feel like we fought the least at church.
Yeah.
God didn't. We fought at church, period.
Well,
we did. But
when we fought all the time.
Yeah, we did. All the time.
But I think for us is that it was a sense of community, and I think it's so important to have third places in life. And church was like a third place for us. It wasn't home. It wasn't school. It was a place we got to go and like hang out, like church camp.
Vacation Bible school. The best.
We would literally go to church camp and fight over our cousin Savannah. We did that at Alto Frio, remember?
Oh, you mean church camp? You mean camp Highland Lakes?
It was Alto Frio.
No.
Yes, it was. Remember Jimmy Needham?
It was Highland. It was like
we did both, but like we went to Alto Frio first.
I know there was 2, but I thought it was both the same each year.
The one at Alto Frio, we had an entire where we had to sit down. I was surprised they didn't send our butts home. Like,
we were fought at church camp?
No, yeah, we fought. Like, we were like going to hit each other at one point. Like we were screaming and crying and like.
But was that when we both got poison ivy? Because I remember getting poison ivy.
I don't even remember getting poison ivy.
Crazy. I don't remember fighting like that.
I do. It was over our cousin Savannah. She can vouch for me in the comments, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we were just trying to like, no, she's my cousin right now. No, she's my cousin right now. And it was more so like she was getting caught between it. It was like, it was probably not nice of us to do that either at the time to her.
No, but I mean, what are we gonna do?
Sorry, Savannah. But we got into a big fight and we had to get sit down and like we had to like have like an entire like powwow, mediation thing
with like one of those random,
with like one of the random like teenage counselors or
that's
like
crazy.
It, like younger than us was dealing with us probably, which is insane. But
I don't remember that at all. But I also don't remember a lot of things. That's crazy. I remember that one worship service where they had it was outside under like this big like awning.
Tabernacle.
Well, that's
what you call it, a tabernacle.
Oh, tabernacle.
The more you know with Jenna Bowman.
But there was that performance and we were all there like worshiping or what have you.
Jimmy Needham.
Yeah. I'm not really big into church anymore. I do like the idea of there being a higher power or God or what have you, but church and organized religion itself is very toxic and not.
I think that for me personally, being like I said, like I haven't really left this area. So like I stayed in church in our church longer than you did, and I saw it have so much turmoil, and I saw it split like 2 or 3 times, and it completely fall apart. And I saw a side of church, and it definitely put a hard spot in my heart towards it, because I feel like Christianity, especially the brick and mortar churches in today's society, have lost what it means to be Christian-like in the fruits of the Spirit and stuff like that. And it just makes me sad that a lot of people cannot separate church and state anymore.
Yeah, I also feel like a lot of churches forget that God is love. And so they try to like paint God in this like oh, if you're gay you're going to hell, if you're any like there's so many things that like send you to hell. That's their main thing. And at the end of the day, God is love,
and no sin is greater than the other.
No sin is greater than the other, and
it's not our role to be jury and executioner and the judgment.
But also like being gay is about love. I'm not gay because I want to get an X, Y, and Z's pants. I'm gay because my love is for men, not for women in that sense. And it's love that's not just physical love, it's emotional, it's like any other kind of love.
Yeah, and I think another thing too is that everyone likes to skim over the fact that homosexuality wasn't even in the Bible.
The Bible was rewritten by white men multiple times, and it was pedophilia that they reworded into homosexuals to condemn and make the gays be viewed negatively upon, which sucks. But and
when you think of it in that sense, is even I can see how it's hard for a lot of people. I'm not giving anybody excuses, but I understand the lack of education and how that can tie into just being set in your ways, because ignorance is bliss, and it is comfortable. And I mean, we know that with our family. How much of our family is
still.
Yeah.
I also feel like 9 times out of 10, these people aren't exposed to gay people, to black people, to trans people.
The thing is these are the same people that have sat and watched Fox News for their entirety of their lives. You know, when you get fed information like on a silver spoon constantly, how do you learn how to separate what's fake and what's not? Like, how do you critical think that when you're not taught the tools to do that?
And my heart really goes out to trans people, especially black trans people, because that is an experience in and of itself that I could never even comprehend, and we couldn't ever even comprehend. And I feel like they are condemned so much, trans people in general, when they're just trying to live their truth. And them living their truth is a threat to your Christianity and to your faith. It's so insane to me.
I genuinely think that, especially the Republic, like, I don't want to just like completely get political, but I do believe that there is a need, whether it's malevolent or what, like, they need something to talk about. They need a talking point. And when you think of it through a political lens, that's the straws they're grasping to. Because, like, I mean, look at abortion. Like, Roe versus Wade got overturned, but people still, like, what are they going to talk about anymore? Yeah. Like, what's the next thing? They're going to hop onto trans people.
So you moved when you were in high school? Or was it middle school?
It was junior high. So for us, I guess we grew apart.
Us, yeah.
Yeah, well, like that's a whole other conversation for a different time. But we grew apart, and I ended up moving in 8th grade, and so we really didn't get to be older teens around each other or in each other's lives at that point. And we left on very volatile terms, and we just did not reconnect for like a long time.
It wasn't until like a few years ago where
I saw him in the parking lot at HEB.
That's crazy.
With my husband, yeah. And then it was like, he was like, Jenna! And I was like, Aiden!
And then we just fell right back into place.
But that's the thing. It's like,
yeah,
we have so much history together.
It's true.
As you can tell from the entire video we've just
So you moved to Geronimo?
No, I moved to Gonzales.
Geronimo, tomato, the G.
Different directions.
You moved to the G,
I moved to Guntown, the Cannon come and take it town.
You mean all of Texas?
No, it's a specific come and take it town.
Oh, wow.
And the start of the Texas Revolution.
I thought that was Vader or Vider. You know that one.
No, the come and take it cannon, that's specifically to Gonzales. Which, tour Gonzales, everybody. Like, come and see the cannon. It's very small. Very, very small. Don't know why all these men fought over such a small cannon.
Also that's what she said. That's also like the Alamo too. This is definitely off topic of you moving, but the Alamo too, very small in real life. Very small.
Yes, and honestly, what's crazy is you get taught the Alamo was a certain way, and you find out it was a completely different story as you grow up into an adult. Insane. Texas history is wild.
That's all we know because that's all they teach us.
Texas. If you ever have time to go down a rabbit hole on Reddit or on YouTube, Texas history is a fun place to be.
Viva Mexico.
So I moved to Gonzales in junior high, and I think that was a huge step for me to come out of my comfort zone and like my little shy shell. Like,
because you were forced to.
Yeah, I mean, I was forced to make all new friends and whatnot. So, and it was healthy for me looking back in the long run. And there was a lot of trauma that built up in my life too, on my own end, and it just helped shape me into who I am today. And I'm very proud of my family for how far they've overcome all their obstacles. I'm proud of my parents for breaking generation curses on their own.
Amen.
And I'm proud of you and how much you've grown.
Yeah.
Peggy would be so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm not going to cry. Don't look at me like I'm going to cry.
Peggy was your biggest fan.
Yeah.
And that was one thing, like, I knew, like, because, I mean, obviously, me and Aiden fought all the time. Like, Peggy was never shy to tell me to just shut up and go home. But, I mean, she loved us. She loved all of us kids. But Aiden was her everything. Aiden, you were probably one of the best thing in her life.
No,
I was. Her life.
And I'm grateful for that. I found, you're going to love this. When Mom Peggy passed away, she had a big box, a vacuum cleaner box, full of old paperwork and stuff. And for some reason, I had to go through every one. Monica was like, Aiden, just throw it away. They're just papers. Like, you're good. I went through every single one. And there, on the back of the angel food, you remember that?
Oh, my gosh,
On the back of that was a typed letter to me that she wrote when I was 10 years old. It was a poem. And it was like about like how blessed she is to be able to have me and how she doesn't want to share me, but she knows that she said all of God's greatest creations were meant to be shared, which is crazy. And I found that after her passing, boo-hoo sobbed after I found it. And then I went and got it copies made and got it laminated and blown up.
And look at you now. You're literally making a platform of sharing.
And
yourself.
I know, no, truly, that's a valid point, Jenna. But truly, no, that's one of the reasons that I love telling my story is because I know that we all have so much story to share with the world, and that nobody's story is completely unique and nobody's story is completely identical, which is crazy.
Which we shared a childhood, but we completely see it.
Two different lives.
But we connected for that short amount of time, and we were just, I'll never forget just walking down the road with you.
Yeah.
Just.
It was crazy. When Mom Peggy passed, that was the hardest moment in my life, Jenna, was when she passed.
It was so hard not being, like, we weren't, like, really talking and stuff. But I mean, like, for me, like, personally, like, that was so sad. And all I wanted to do was just to reach out and talk to you. Yeah,
there was a lot there. I would have talked to you.
I know, but there was lots of stuff going on, too. And then not right after, because Chelsea passed right after.
Yeah, not too long after.
Was it?
No.
Because when did Mom Peggy pass?
It wasn't Chelsea, it was Samantha.
Oh, that was so hard.
It was Mom Peggy, Samantha, and Chelsea was only, then Chelsea,
yeah,
I guess.
That was a very hard time.
Joyce.
My grandma Joyce. Yeah.
Yeah.
When did Joyce pass? That was about a year before Chelsea passed. And which is so sad because...
When did Joyce pass?
I would have to pause. Hey, Mom, I'm sitting here with Aiden. Do you remember when Grandma Joyce passed away?
Also, hi.
Hi, Aiden.
It's good to see you, to hear you.
I know.
I watch you on TikTok all the time.
Stop it! Thank you.
Love you and miss you.
I love you too.
All right, but hey, if you get that, can you text it to me? We'll talk to you later. I gotta go back to I'm being interviewed.
Jenna and I made a TikTok together, so you're gonna love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cute.
I'll be watching.
All right, love you, Mom.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
So country.
Love it. I'll be watching. That whole period of time, like for me personally, like I was going through postpartum. It was during COVID, like right after like COVID was big and stuff like that, and it was just so consecutive. And Sam was just like another
big loss. That was insane.
And we saw each other at the funeral.
At Samantha's funeral. Yeah.
That was.
No, I wasn't there for Samantha's funeral.
I saw you at Chelsea's then.
No, I didn't go to Chelsea's either.
Was it Grandma Joyce's?
It was Joyce's.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was in New York for both Samantha's and
Weren't you
Chelsea's.
with Peggy? Was still there though.
Wasn't
she? I thought you had her in a wheelchair. Was that your grandma?
Oh yes, I did.
No, Mom Peggy was there.
Mom Peggy was there. So did Joyce pass away before Mom Peggy?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But so then that wasn't 2 years ago, because it's gonna be 4 years, Jenna.
It's 2025 though. Yeah, I know. My son's gonna be 6 this year.
It's gonna be 4 years since Mom Peggy passed away, which is insane how fast time goes.
Hello, did you figure it out?
One says January 17th, 2020, and the other one says January 21st, 2020.
Because we were trying to figure out, because when did Peggy pass?
Mom Peggy passed 2021, February 2021.
Yeah, and then Chelsea passed what, two years ago?
Uh-huh.
And then so it was Aunt Joyce, it was Mom Peggy, and then it was Samantha.
And then it was Chelsea.
And then Chelsea. That's crazy.
I know. That's crazy. We're talking about that period of time. And how
I just had to Google it, Jenna. It was January 17th, 2020.
Wow.
All right.
I did not even think about Googling it.
Well, we ended up calling because we're just sitting here talking. You know how me and Aiden get. Hey, Mom. Actually, since you're on here right now, can you vouch and say that me and Aiden fought all the time?
Yeah, I like brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they got pretty bad too, didn't they?
Yeah. Because for y'all, it was bad. I mean, for us, it was just from
kids.
But we also couldn't stay away from each other.
No.
We had a very toxic relationship,
yeah.
me and Jenna.
we couldn't live around each other and couldn't live without each other.
The hair thing.
It was the curls. We were talking, Aiden didn't even have curls until he got into his adulthood, really.
Which is crazy, yeah.
He straightened it too much.
Yeah.
I know. He always had that little boy haircut.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Mom, do you remember anything from me and Aiden when we were little?
Joe used to drive me and Peggy nuts.
Do you remember us putting on any concerts or anything?
No.
Okay.
I know Aiden was in the Cheetah Girls.
Ah, yes, he was. He
That's
was
hilarious.
the 5th. He was the notorious number 5 out of
Yeah.
the Cheetah Girls.
Raven Simone.
Mhm.
Yeah, still am. It's good to know that some things never change.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks, Mom. Are you consenting to be on the internet?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. She's consenting. I'm consenting for her.
Love
I'm
you.
her.
Power of attorney.
I'm her power of attorney. She's consenting. A Turner. Power of attorney. All right, Mom. Talk to you later. Love you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Love y'all too.
Bye. That's hilarious.
That is funny as shit.
So one of my favorite podcasters, Jay Shetty, he has this list of 5 questions at the end. He calls them the Fast 5, which he wants you to just say them as fast as you can. I don't really care how long you take, but these are my last final questions for you, Jenna. I've had so much fun doing this podcast with you and you being my guinea pig for my very first guest. That was a lot of fun and very brave on your part because who knows how this is going to end up. But it's going to be great because it's me. Also, I just want to say, like, these questions really I feel like they align with me, my brand, and my overall theme of me online, if that makes sense. What is a childhood dream you've kept alive or secretly still want to chase? Whatever comes to your mind.
So honestly, like whenever I was younger, like one of the big things I wanted was I wanted to have like a fairy book love story.
Huh?
Like I wanted a love story.
Huh.
And I found mine. Like
That's
I
so
literally found my Prince Charming. Like I'm not even joking.
Gag
Like,
me out the door. I love that.
Like our love story, I could write an entire novel. I might. Who knows?
You
I
should.
might have like a
Why
tell-all
not?
one day. And I am so thankful. I'm so lucky I found such a genuinely good guy to love me for me.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, me too. And he's really cute. So that's
It's not too bad.
Well,
yeah.
he's handsome. I don't even care. Like stalk me online. Just he doesn't use social media, so try. Go ahead.
What's the most you moment you've ever had? Something that just screams your personality.
My personality, probably when I'm photographing a wedding, because there's a sense of in control you have to be, and you take up a lot of leadership during the day and directing, and also just being creative and being a safe, comfortable place for people to have an outlet, because you're there from the beginning to the end. Yeah. And that's a big thing to trust people with. And your whole job is to sit there and capture one of the most important parts of someone's day. And just people trusting me like that just makes me feel amazing. And I feel the most like myself whenever I'm doing that. Like whenever I have my camera and I get to do my job, like do something I'm passionate about, doing what I love to do.
I love that.
It just makes me happy.
I love that. If you could relive one magical moment in your life, what would it be?
In 2016, on the beach at night in Galveston,
Ooh.
when my husband asked me to be his girlfriend on the rock pier right next to Kima.
That's cute.
It's so romantic. He's a sweetheart. Like, he really is.
I love that.
That was such a great night.
What's one thing you'd want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered as a good mom. I want my kids to think of their childhood and their mom baking cookies. I want them to remember mom doing arts and crafts with them. I want them to remember that mom talked to them, made them feel safe, made them feel seen and heard. And mom always pushed them to chase their dreams.
I love that, Jenna. I love that. What's a small moment or memory in your life that had a big impact on who you are today?
During COVID, I had Rhett in 2019 in August. So that was right before COVID hit in 2020 and shut down, during spring break in 2020. So all of his milestones, we were stuck in home. His first month, his first year, his first 6 months, his 8-month photos. And so in our little apartment, on the 3rd floor, I was making these little sets and taking newborn photos of my son, because it was hard. Like, I was navigating an entire pandemic with like society shut down. I got FaceTime from my husband going to the store in HEB during COVID with nothing on the shelves trying to find formula.
That's crazy.
Like, hectic. Nobody was like, nothing was there. And so we're wondering, like, where are we going to get formula? He'd have to, like, hop around stores trying to find formula for our child. Like, that was crazy. And so...
That's intense.
Yeah. So another thing about that, though, is that you didn't really have the option of going out and getting newborn and family photos done and stuff like that. So I was doing these setups, like, by myself with my phone and taking pictures. And I had so much fun. We got some great pictures. I'll send you a couple of them. Like, they were so cute. And I think that was, like, a big thing. It's like, oh, I could do this.
Yeah.
Oh, I love doing this.
That's awesome.
And so guinea pigged on my kid during COVID. So basically, like, that was a small moment that I want to say that probably set the pace for me to be in the path that I am today.
I love
because
that.
Because it just continued. So from 2020 to now, I got a camera right after that and started taking our own pictures, our own family pictures, and went from there, and here I am.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, last one. Who in your life taught you the most about being true to yourself, and what did you learn from them?
My uncle. My gunkle.
Yes, I'm a gunkle myself.
Jaden McCall. He is a drag queen.
Yes.
Out of Dallas, Texas. And I remember as a young girl just being at my grandma's house because he lived with my grandma at the time, and just having Britney Spears playing a CD player. Like, I'm so thankful that I never grew up in, like, a shaming gay environment growing up, because that wasn't, like, I never realized that gay was such a negative connotation until we were teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another story. But, but growing up like that taught me that, like, I would see his wigs, I would see his crowns, his heels. Like, I actually remember seeing a video on YouTube of him whenever I was younger, and it's him dancing to the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
That on one of the shows. He was just so authentic. He was never afraid to be himself, and if he was, he never made it seen.
Yeah.
And my mom loved him unconditionally. And
that's your mom's brother?
My mom's brother. Yeah. And we always knew he was gay. We never thought it was anything bad about it.
Yeah.
And I think, like, for me, I think that was also another thing why I connected to you a lot, like, growing up, is because you were very...
I embraced my femininity.
Yeah, but the thing is that you were very lively, and I adored my uncle.
That's
growing
awesome.
up. I will say this, don't try to hack him, but I am his password. And I better still be his password. And I'm going to send you this part.
That's hilarious.
But he always loved me too unconditionally, and I think that was, like, a big thing for me. And it didn't necessarily do anything, but it was nice to see that represented in life, and seeing someone just do that and be themselves.
I love that. Being a gunkle is the best. I'm so grateful that we had this opportunity, Jenna.
Thank you for doing this. I'm glad that we got to experience it. I think this was a big conversation we need to have too.
Definitely.
Sitting down
and there's a lot that y'all don't even get to hear.
Yet.
Part
2 at his 1-year anniversary of his podcast.
I think that'll be fun. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
You can compare them side by side.
Yes.
That would be cute.
That would be
see where
really
I'm at, in my photography, and see where you're at in your career.
To have my first official
guest. And then we'll retouch other topics and where we've gone in the past year.
Yes.
And a new photo shoot.
Definitely. I don't even know what else to say. Thank you. I hope that we both get a lot of good things out of this, out of life.
I think we have a lot of great things to...
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I am so excited to share this episode with you whenever I finally get it edited, because Lord knows how long this is going to take.
It's a long one.
Be prepared that there's going to be more episodes coming out soon. I'm going to be interviewing my besties soon and having, like, a little threesome.
I'm so
excited. A little menage a trois with them.
To see what content you guys create together.
Yeah, no, me too. I I'm so excited and so grateful for all of you and for all of this. So until next time, love ya, mean it. Bye. Alrighty, you guys, thank you again so much for watching and supporting me. More videos coming soon. I'm going to be trying to do either weekly or bi-weekly, or maybe 1 week me alone and the next week me interviewing somebody. It all just depends. If you think of anybody that I should interview, let me know because I would love to. Alright, love you, mean it. Bye.